Well, hello beach friends. Kind of seems appropriate that on this winter day we will be going on a cloudy beach walk. We are going to find all sorts of cool stuff. It's super low tide. We're down at Fort Myers Beach, so we're going to creep around, see what kind of cool stuff we can find. A couple of shells, a couple of critters. So let's go to the beach. Here we are at Fort Myers Beach. I usually make a beeline for the water just to see, well, first I kind of check out, see if there's anything on the beach. There's no shell piles or anything. I'm going straight for the water because that's where I like to be. But let's just talk for a minute. Where on Fort Myers am I? So here's the Gulf. Over here is Sanibel Island, and then across the bay, or the ocean, the Gulf, is Fort Myers Beach. And specifically, I go shelling here on South Fort Myers Beach because that's just where I generally tend to find the most goodies, the most critters, most fun stuff to share with you guys. And today I chose to come to Fort Myers Beach because the tide was negative low tide, and that's supposed to be a real good time to find stuff. So we're going to start off with this sand dollar. He's broken, but he's still real pretty. Fun little guy. Oh, and this was an osprey. These are birds, we see them all over the place. You can hear them. They're really, really awesome. And I was kind of hoping he was going to dive for his breakfast. These guys eat fish, so they dive and just pluck them out of the water, but he was just kind of scoping things out. I'm sorry that he didn't go for his breakfast. That would have been cool to share. Here we have a disc docinia. They're fun little shells. Got a little bit of beach stuff on it, but that's a disc docinia. Oh, and here we have some more seabirds. These are anhingas, also known as a snake bird. They're so funny because they dive under the water and you'll just kind of see their head popping up. So those are neat little guys. Here we have a calico clam. Not the most spectacular specimen, but we're going to find some other ones. And then this was another fun thing that happened. Lots of activity going on up above me. Here we have some paramotor people paramotoring down the beach. This guy, for me anyway, that's a little too close. But hey, I guess if you know what you're doing, you're safe. So it's just always something fun to see at the beach. All right, and here we have, look at this chubby little olive. All right, he's not that little, but oh, isn't he pretty? That's a lettered olive. And I got grabby and found myself this Florida fighting conch. He is a really awesome orange color. Not in perfect condition, but he's still real pretty. And then here it looks like I got grabby and found myself a banded tulip. He's a little bit chipped, but that's still a pretty good find. I'm happy with that. And another Florida fighting conch. Oh, he's cool. Now, he does have that layer of periostracum on him, that kind of like beach stuff. Still haven't figured out how to get that off. Here's another lettered olive. He's pointy, he's shiny. And a big chunk of nutmeg. Oh, that would have been cool, but unfortunately, it's only a piece. All right, and here we have a channeled duck clam. They're rather thin, they're very ridged with those lines. They're also known as a sailor's ear. And I just started kind of paying attention to these guys. I think they're kind of neat. I'd like to add something to our shell repertoire. And speaking of shell repertoire, here's another, it's just a clam. It's a bivalve of some sort. I don't know what kind though. And I thought it was kind of special because it had that horizontal, like thinner line in it. But I don't know what kind of clam it is. I don't know. So here we are, it's just a nice, lazy walk. And I'm shelling in chocolate milk. It's really hard when you can't see the sea bottom, it's just all cloudy. But still kind of makes it fun. So I guess I got a little discouraged, went up to the beach and grabbed myself this jingle. I like those guys, they come in all sorts of different colors. We're gonna find a couple today. Oh, here we have a scallop. That looks like it probably was a rough scallop. Not the usual color of those guys. Now, you have any guess what that might be? It's completely devoid of color. It should have color on it, but just based on the shape. Anything? Nah, it's not going to help you out. That is a sunray Venus that has completely lost all of its color. This guy's probably been rolling around for a while. And this is what one looks like when it has its color. It's a sunray Venus. They're actually kind of cool. They're relatively common, but they're pretty shells. Ooh. Here we have a spiny jewel box. That's the technical name. I'm going to go with like kind of lumpy jewel box. He's not that spiny, but don't despair. We're going to find some really cool spiny ones today. And here we have a prickly cockle, a Florida prickly cockle. They do actually, the coloring does look like the giant Atlantic cockle a little bit, but these guys have that extra little prickliness to them. All right, here's another jingle. They come in all different colors, but they're almost always like that iridescent. They're relatively thin. Kind of fun little guys. It's like we have another one. Now look how different this guy is. He's a little bit gray, where that one before was much darker. They come in, like I said, all different colors, anywhere from orange to yellow, black, silver. Looks like I'm still kind of battling in the surf here. I found a sand dollar. You don't want to be too grabby with those because they can be delicate. It's a happy little guy, completely safe to take home. All right, I'm heading south still. It is a moderate temperature out. It's about 69 degrees. So it's quite nice. Completely warm enough to still be in the water, which is nice. Especially during the winter. And it looks like we got ourselves another Florida fighting conch. He might have had to repair himself on the left there. That's a fine example of a Florida fighting conch. And it looks like we got ourselves a critter. Yep, live sand dollar. That guy is alive and well, so he definitely needs to go back into the water. When in question, just leave it in the water. And what do we got here? Okay, there's a spiny jewel box. I'd say he's kind of spiny. I'll buy that. Doesn't have any of those big old spikes, but he's still spiny. And here we have a hinged prickly cockle. That's kind of cool. That beautiful like pink and purple color in the inside. It's a fun find. I'm going to keep that. And here we have a banded tulip. Kind of chewed up, rolling around. Not a perfect example of this kind of shell, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Looks like we got another sand dollar. And again, it can't be too grabby because they're can be a little delicate, but he's just rolling around in the surf. Aw, poor guy. Yeah, he's a little bit too beat up for me, so I'm going to save him for somebody else. And what do we got here? We have a tulip that's inhabited by a long-wristed hermit crab. These guys are not that friendly. They don't always come out. I usually kind of find them. They tuck themselves in and stay there, which is too bad. But I'll just take a peek and leave him to do his hermit crab thing. And what do we get here? Okay, lightning whelk. Lightning whelk. That second guy. He's a little bit chewed up. But he's got some nice color on the front side. That guy's nice. So two lightning whelk. It looks like I'm going to creep around up here on the beach for a minute. All right, got myself an auger. Two augers. They almost look exactly like each other. Like a pair of earrings. What do we got here? Oh, a broken apple murex. Here's another auger. And a seraph. Now, sometimes people talk about what's the difference between a seraph and an auger. So these three guys, those are augers. They're all kind of smooth. They have very defined whorls going around it. Then the seraph, while he's the same exact shape, he's very different. The surface looks completely different. Here we have a little shark eye that unfortunately probably was drilled and snacked on by somebody else. And this is the second time that I've found an olive that looked perfectly fine on one side, but then had all these barnacles on the other side. And that's confusing to me because I would expect the shell to be a little bit more beat up, not shiny. I don't know why that happens. And then this oyster I thought was kind of cool. It reminded me of an American flag. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's just a piece, nothing really remarkable about it other than the coloring, so I'm going to keep it. So I decided to creep along the beach a little bit, see what was up here. We got ourselves a little scallop. So show you guys what it's really like to kind of be here. What kind of stuff is on the beach? You got shells, you got broken pieces. So depending on what you're looking for, you're, definitely going to find some things to bring home, for sure. Looks like let's take a look at this Florida fighting conch, just in case he's exquisite. He's just a regular old Florida fighting conch. What else we got? All right, look at that cute little guy. That's a little nutmeg. Anything else? What are we else gonna look at? All right, a spiny jewel box. He's just a little bit bumpy, so we'll leave him. Let's check out this shark eye. He's missing a big old piece, so we're gonna leave him. I missed a cone. Did you see that cone I missed? What else? But I found that guy. Look at that. That's a Florida cone. That's a great little find. Nice color, nice and pointy. See an olive, a couple Florida fighting conchs. I see a lightning whelk. Yep. He's a pretty good find. I'm going to keep him. And I see a big piece of a broken horse conch. And shark eye. It's in the moon snail family, but these guys are called shark eyes. And an olive, a lettered olive. I always give it that swipe to see if it's nice and glossy. Looks like I got another, oh, never mind. Was a piece of a shark eye. I'll just stick with the olive. Oh, looks like we got, no, this is a deposit from the husband. That is a Gulf oyster drill. He's a swell little guy. And look at this, never found one of these guys before. That's a jasper cone. Not really the color you would normally expect to see it. They only get to be about 1 inch, but very cool find. Look at this beauty. That's a Florida fighting conch. I've also heard those called a Haitian conch, and I haven't dived into that quite yet. So we're just gonna go with this beautiful Florida fighting conch. Here we have an auger. Make sure that that's, nope, that is not a hermit crab. It's just some seaweed. It's a pretty guy. Now, I don't know quite what's going on here. I thought maybe it was sea pork, but obviously it's like a glowing yellow. Oh, what's this? Oh, Florida oh, okay, he's broken. We'll leave him be. Okay, where were we? A glowing piece of sea something. It's probably a tunicate, but that color is really throwing me off. I don't know why. It is that bright orange. Look at that. It's like a big old rhino shell. He is awesome. So the spinier these guys are, the more I really like him. I just love that he has just at least that one big spine that hadn't been broken off yet. Very cool. And a little button snail. All right, these guys, that's about as big as they get. They don't get much bigger than that. And here we have a little apple murex. He's in great shape. Little guys. Oh, another little button snail. He's got a little bit nicer color on him. Aren't they intricate? Oh, they're so pretty. Here's a little baby tulip. It's a little broken, but still cute. And an olive. Yep, nice and shiny, pointy, but check this out. Look at this itty bitty olive. Oh, is it just me or is that adorable? What else we got? All right, a lightning whelk. It's kind of got that pretty lemon base color. Hello, lightning whelk. And, ooh, another spiny jewel box. How spiny? All right, he's a little spiny. Not quite as impressive as that other guy, but still. He's pretty spiky. I'm gonna hold on to him too. Okay. I'm probably going to encounter this a whole bunch because it's about that time. That is a lightning whelk egg casing. And if I can show you, yep, see all those little guys in there? Those are little itty bitty little baby lightning whelks, and they form within that little disc with their little shell and their little snail, and once they're ready, they will come out. Not many of these guys survive. Only about 1% hatch successfully. These were laid anchored to something on the seafloor, and it has come dislodged. So I'm going to put it back in the water just in case I can give these guys a shot. Hopefully they can grow up to be nice big lightning whelks. But here we have another little spiny jewel box. Little spiky guy. And a shark guy. He's in pretty good shape, all things considered. I think we'll take him home with us. And another jewel box. All right, check out this guy though. He's got like a little hitchhiker. Look, he's got like a little teeny tiny shell stuck in there. How cool is that? Don't know what kind it is other than teeny tiny. 2 shells, a twofer. And here we have bay scallop that has been completely discolored. Very, very cool. I love those shells. All right, back in the water. And I got myself a piece of a banded tulip. Yeah, he's broken. Oh well. And a jingle. Why not? This guy, he's jingly and shiny and gray. So that's kind of fun. I think I have a bright orange one coming up at some point. Is this it? Yep. Look at that. That's also a jingle. So on these guys, you got to go by the texture, the shape, the way they look, not by color. And here we have a cross-barred Venus. But look how pretty on that side, right? Just kind of like plain. And then you flip it over and it's got that beautiful bright yellow color. Sometimes orange, purple rather. Look how spiky he is. Oh, that is awesome. Yep, taking that guy for sure. And a top snail. Now, what's kind of weird is I don't usually find these guys with like the broken pieces in them. Kind of weird. I'm going for that bright orange piece. Yep. Oh, man. That's a rough scallop. And that's rough that I have to leave it. Well, I don't have to, but I'm not going to keep it. Well, hi there. This is a critter. This is a short-spined sea urchin. They have tube feet, and they will cover themselves with shells to protect them from predators. They think they're hiding. I think they're getting all dressed up. I think they're kind of cool. And I wanted to take a closer look, but I didn't want to disturb him. He had obviously spent a lot of time kind of getting ready to go to the beach with all his shells. But this guy, let's take a peek at him. He is alive and well. See how he's moving his spines around? When they're in the water and they kind of see something dark, they will point their spines at the dark area just to kind of give themselves a little bit more protection. But these are perfectly safe to pick up and handle. I'm going to get him back in the water and let him do his sea urchin thing. The tide is coming in, so he'll be just fine. And here we have an Atlantic kitten paw. Heard these guys called a couple different things, but we're just going to go with a kitten paw, cat paw, either one. And I thought this might have been a piece of Junonia, but upon closer inspection, I think that's actually a piece of alphabet cone. And then here's a calico scallop. It's a pretty guy. Oh, and this weird little soft potato looking guy, this is a sandy skinned tunicate. It is a water filter kind of creature. They filter water. Sometimes there's a lot of shells attached to them. This guy though, he's just a little soft potato looking guy. And here is another one I found, and he's attached to all sorts of stuff. And I wanted to get him back a little bit closer to the water. So I kind of scooped him and all his shells and everything that was going on there. There's a whole bunch of beachiness going on there. So we'll just leave him in the surf and let him continue to do his filtering thing. Baby gaudy Nautica. Look how cute. So that is a little colorful moon snail. Delicate little guy. And here we have a more mature version of the gaudy Nautica. also known as colorful moon snail. He's kind of got like tiger stripes on him. That's kind of cool. Love those shells. So we've reached pretty much the south end. This is the pass between Lover's Key. That's the island on the far side of the shot. This is the very south end of Fort Myers Beach. This is a great place to come after a storm. There is all sorts of stuff scattered all over the place, but we're still just kind of foraging, seeing what we can find. Here's another one of those clams that I don't know the name of that has a thin strip in it. I don't know. It's not channeled. I don't know what it is. It's kind of, I hate to say, like basic kind of clam shell because of that cool little stripe, but I don't know what that is. And here we have a sandy bay scallop with a hole in it. Looks like here we have a clean bay scallop with a hole in it. I think I was really just, should I keep it? Should I leave it? And I decided to leave it. Somebody else can add that to their collection. Here's another one. This was a little bit easier. I don't have to debate as much with myself. It's got a little chip. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. And another spiny jewel box. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, he's got some stabby parts on there. Very cool shell. And a spotted slipper snail. These guys are pretty interesting, these slipper snails. That guy's a spotted version. He's pretty. And here we have two of those calico clams. And look how different. There's the one that kind of has the base with the white and with the brown color, and then the other one's just kind of got a brown base with brown color. And this is the kind of thing that makes me nuts because it's the same shell, but looks completely different. And it just takes time. Just takes time to kind of get used to all these little shells. Speaking of little shells, look at this little crown conch. Oh, the color on these guys is gorgeous. Although when they get bigger, they do tend to kind of lose the color. This is a piece of a crowned conch. Not the whole guy, just a piece, but oh, the color on these guys is awesome. All right, this I think is sea liver. Who knew there was something other than sea pork, right? So sea liver is a purple color. Allegedly, it's a little bit different than sea pork. It really looks the same to me. It's just that color. When I was kind of doing my research, I realized that there's something other than sea pork that looks like some sort of weird beach brains. So there we have it. I think it's sea liver. Weird. So this is all the fun things that we brought home today. We have those calico clams that drive me nuts. All of those beautiful spiny jewel boxes, which are awesome. The Sunray Venus, a couple of broken sand dollars, a Distocenia, that channeled duck clam, Florida fighting conchs and the augers and the shark eyes. A couple of jingles, look at all the different colors. You got your olives and some cones, which was totally fun. And these minis, oh, they're so cute. I thought that was kind of fun. And those generally you're going to find when you're combing the beach, when you're really on the beach, not in the water. So that was a fun day. We found some things that we haven't found before. And thank you so much for coming along with me. As always, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for all your comments, all your support. And I'll see you again next Sunday.